Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review as well as a demo on the brand new Urban Decay Stay Naked HYDROMANIAC Tinted Glow Hydrator. Yes, I did have to look down as I said it because the name is so long. This is basically their latest base product. It's not a foundation. It is a tinted glow hydrator. I just have to enunciate the tinted glow hydrator for those of you that may use it and think, hold on, this doesn't quite work the same way a foundation does. It's because it's basically a tinted moisturiser. I'm trying to think back when the last time I bought a tinted moisturiser was. I think it was one by Colourpop, which I was a very big fan of. And it's been about a year or so since Urban Decay actually came out with a foundation type of product. Now, I've always been a very big fan of Urban Decay's foundations. Their other makeup, maybe not so much, more so in more recent times, for no other reason than there have been better products out there, to be honest. But in terms of their base products, they've always been very, very good. To this day, their Stay Naked concealer is still my holy grail, or one of my holy grail concealers. Anyway, so this retails at £29. I bought mine direct from Urban Decay. And it is also 35ml. So that is a little bit extra product you get than your normal 30ml. So already in my books, I'm like, okay, that's already a plus. Good value for money. £29–30 is normally the normal kind of price for 30ml foundation. So for 35ml and £29, that makes it in my books worth the money. Now, first off, in terms of the packaging, it comes in a very cute cardboard box which has got the color of your foundation on it, as well as like this teal sort of packaging. And then the actual package itself is a plastic tube, and you take off the lid and it's just got your normal squeezy kind of tube. So this is definitely one of those kind of packagings that I generally tend to prefer, because even when it's gone down to its last drop, you can still cut the tube in half and get out any last little dregs that are left behind. Now, people may be slightly surprised to hear that there are only 12 shades. 12 shades is like quite a small amount in regards to obviously base color shades for your skin. Now, I will read to you their reasons why and what their claims are. For reference, I bought mine in the shade 50 medium. So based on their product description off of their website, which I always like to read first to you guys, just so that you can see what they say in comparison to what I say after my experience using it. So it says, ditch your moisturiser. HYDROMANIAC's weightless vegan formula gives you buildable medium coverage that's crazy good for your skin. It's got the intense hydration of a dewy tinted moisturiser with the long wear coverage of a 24-hour foundation. They're comparing it to a 24-hour foundation. It contains kombucha, filtrate and marula oil. The HYDROMANIAC has been formulated to nourish skin to give an intense hydration. Now you look like you've got a deep, fresh glow that makes you look like you finally drank enough water. What are you trying to say? This lineup of 12 flexible shades is super forgiving, covering a wide range of skin tones. It's a no-brainer to apply anywhere with no tools needed. We love using our fingers to blend it for dewy radiance and seamless, buildable coverage that lasts all day. Use HYDROMANIAC to even out skin tone texture to reduce the appearance of pores and blemishes. After 24 hours, your skin is significantly more moisturized and healthy looking. What more could you want? Flexible shades designed to suit your skin tone by allowing your real skin to show through the medium coverage and sheer glow finish. So they say under their pro tips that no tools are needed. Apply with your fingers and blend outwards from the center of your face. I personally have just been using a brush. I don't like to use base products by using my fingers. I find that it doesn't really give you that kind of even coverage, and you tend to start rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it, and then it starts to dry and then you're a bit stuffed. So that's just my personal preference. That may not be yours. It's completely down to you. In terms of this video, I just used this Colourpop brush. I don't even know if it's a foundation brush, but it was like kind of dense and sort of fluffy, and it did the job perfectly fine. So it says for a dewy highlight and contour, go 2 to 3 shades lighter or deeper than your skin's shade. And it says for extra coverage, bump up HYDROMANIAC by mixing in a complementary shade of Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. Funnily enough, under my eyes, I am actually using their Stay Naked Concealer. My shade is in 50WY, and that's just because I needed a concealer under my eyes. It works very nicely with the actual tinted moisturizer, so I'm quite happy with that. Now, in terms of its 12 shades, now the reason why they have given 12 shades and called them flexible shades is because it is a tinted moisturizer, meaning it is a moisturizer with a hint of pigment to it. So if, for example, you use the shade 50 medium, like mine, and you just wanted that natural tinted glow, just a slight evening out of your skin tone, it doesn't matter whether you are, and I will use the example of MAC and within my range because that's the only range that I know. If you're an NC35, NC40 or NC42, this would work well on you, but only if you are going for that very soft, natural evening out of your skin tone and not necessarily that much pigment. However, if you did want to go in medium coverage like I have done, I'm a full coverage kind of gal, but obviously for the purposes of this video, I used it from light to medium to show you guys how the coverage would work. Now, for me personally, this is a almost perfect match in terms of it matching my skin tone. And that is after applying 2 layers to get it to medium coverage. Even now, and when I used it yesterday and the day before, and I looked at my face in natural sunlight, I could see a slight darkening around this area, which to me goes to show that it is a little bit deep for my skin tone, but it's enough that I can get away with wearing it. I would probably say that I'm a MAC NC35 or 37. I'm definitely not an NC40 anymore. Now, if you were an NC42 and you wanted to go in with medium coverage with this, it would look too pale on your skin. So you need to bear that in mind when choosing your shade, how you are going to use it. If you are planning to use it just as a light tinted moisturizer, you can probably use 1 or 2 different shades. If you want to go up to medium coverage, you're going to have to make sure that you get an almost exact match, which may be difficult considering there are only 12 shades. My shade number 50 is smack bang in the middle. It is the 6th shade, and then there are another 6 shades after that. Now, personally, I do quite like this tinted moisturizer. I think it's really, really good. It gave me the kind of coverage that I liked. I've got normal to combination skin, which means that I get oily across my T-zone. I do have to say that they've also got claims written on their boxes, by the way, and it says up to 24 hours hydration, lasting all day moisture, skin is significantly hydrated after 24 hours. I personally could not tell because I use skincare. That is only going to be relevant for those people out there who do not use moisturizer, who do not use cleanser, who do not use anything on their face other than a foundation. And to me, that's sometimes a little bit strange. Like, why would you not prep your face before you apply something else? So in order to determine whether your face is fully hydrated, you need to not wear any skincare because that's the only way you'll be able to see. Personally, I couldn't tell because when I wash my face off at night time, I go in with the double cleansing, the toning, I go in with an essence, a serum, a moisturizer, and sometimes a night sleeping mask as well. Would I be able to tell then in the morning whether my face is hydrated because of this? I wouldn't be able to tell at all. I would base it on the skincare products I used before I went to bed. Now it says up to 24-hour glow, dewy, juicy finish, healthy looking skin glow. 24 hours. Who's wearing this for 24 hours? No one, don't do that, okay? The only time I think I've ever worn foundation or makeup for 24 hours is when I've been traveling between time zones and I have literally been awake for like 2 days, like 48 hours straight, and I haven't had a chance to even sleep, let alone brush my teeth and wash my face. And that even then, no foundation has ever been able to hold up on my skin for 24 hours. As it says, up to 24-hour wear. No, oh my God, it's a dewy product. All right, if it was matte, I'd be a little bit more inclined to believe that claim, but it is a dewy tinted moisturizer. I wore it and after 12 hours on my normal to combination skin, it started to break down around my nose, around my chin, around my forehead, basically all the areas that tend to let out a little bit of extra oil as a result of my normal to combination skin. So no, it does not last 24 hours. Even if you have dry skin, it will still start to break down because it is a product that contains marula oil. At the end of the day, there's oil in it. So anything with oil is going to start to break down. It does not last 24 hours, you guys, in case you don't believe that. Now, in terms of its texture, it reminds me very much of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. It squeezes out easily. It's not too runny. It blends easily and seamlessly onto the face. It blends just like using a moisturizer, to be honest. That's why they probably do say use your fingers, because you can, most people obviously do tend to use their hands to apply their moisturizer, but just in terms of messiness and pigment getting in places, I tend to prefer to use a brush for this, but obviously it's completely up to you. If you are going to use a damp beauty blender, bear in mind that a lot of the product will sink into your sponge and you won't even get light coverage. You'll get no coverage really. So don't waste your time using a sponge, okay? Okay, let's go through their points again. So it says it gives you buildable medium coverage. That's good for your skin. Yes, it does. It does give you a really nice medium coverage. It definitely does not go up to full coverage. So please don't try to continuously add more and more product to get the full coverage. It just won't happen because it blends out the same way a moisturizer does. It's got the intense hydration of a dewy tinted moisturizer. Definitely my skin looks lovely, it looks glowy, but you definitely have to set this. I cannot emphasize enough, you must set this moisturizer on your face if you want it to last throughout the day. And also if you've got oily skin or combination skin, definitely make sure that you set it just so that you can ensure its longevity. The long wear coverage of a 24-hour foundation, no. This is nothing like a foundation at all. It does not give me the same coverage as a foundation. It does not perform the same way a foundation does. However, it does give that same kind of pigment that a medium coverage foundation can give. It just feels very different on the face because it is more like a moisturizer, and it never quite sets on the face either because again it's like a moisturizer. Most normal skincare moisturizers should sink into your skin. This does not, because obviously there's pigment in there and it's there to even out your skin tone. It's not really there to sink in and do other things, despite the fact that it's got all these extra ingredients in here. I've said this in the past, please leave skincare out of base products. We have skincare for that. When you try to combine them, sometimes it doesn't quite work. I think that because this has oil in it, it definitely helps to create more oil on the skin than is necessary. It says it's been formulated to nourish the skin and give an intense hydration. Don't get me wrong, any dry patches on my face, you can't see them. It definitely nourishes the skin. It definitely doesn't feel tight or drying or cakey or aging or anything like that. It blurs out my texture and imperfections really nicely. It gives me a very natural kind of finish, which I'm quite happy with. Also, the fact that I bought this and it has come out in the winter will also help those of you that tend to lean more towards the oily side. You'll be more likely to be able to use a dewy foundation now. When the summer comes, it's going to be a lot more difficult even for people like myself who've got normal to combination skin. What gets me about this, now I'm even looking on UrbanDecay.com's website, their US website. One of its main selling points is that it's long wearing. It is not long wearing, okay? It is not. Maybe in terms of it being a tinted moisturizer, it's long wearing, because a lot of tinted moisturizers don't tend to last up to 12 hours, but this has got a 24-hour claim against it. I don't understand. That is a minus point, mostly because you have used that as a main selling point for this product. It says again, with an added healthy glow that stays fresh and wears for up to 24 hours. It does not. Okay, I had to wash my face after 12 hours. Luckily, it was already like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was tired. But when I got a good look up of my skin up close, I was like, whoa, it's separated here and it's separated there. It's separated. And yes, I had started to get a bit shiny as well. Obviously, if you're out and about during the day, you can use a powder to kind of touch it up and kind of mattify your skin slightly to stop the oils coming through. But if you're going to tell us that it's a 24-hour wearing foundation, I would expect the maximum wear time, not the minimum. 12 is half of 24, okay? It minimizes pores completely and imperfections, yep, with a smooth blurring effect, while evening skin tone and texture. 100%, it definitely does all of those things. But on their American website, it also says goes great with all skin types, even oily. They've written that, even oily. Listen, you guys, if you've got oily skin, I would stay away from it personally. So the kombucha filtrate is an antioxidant rich ingredient to brighten and detoxify your skin, increasing skin's luminosity. And the marula oil hydrates, protects and seals in hydration, and in brackets makes your face oily. Now, I've already given you some of my own points, and hopefully by now you would have seen my little demo of me using this as well. It does start off looking a little bit light on my skin, but once it settles down, once it dries, sort of, it just darkens slightly. And I have used a slightly lighter powder on my face just so that I didn't have a very obvious kind of browny orange tinge going on under here. This is, like I said, it's very easy to blend. It's very buildable. It's a very nice and light tinted moisturizer. and it covers the majority of my imperfections for a very naturally radiant kind of look to my skin. Even now, after setting it, my face does feel slightly tacky, so bear that in mind, that if you haven't set it, it will feel sticky, but once you have set it, it will still feel slightly tacky because it is a tinted moisturizer after all. So overall, I would probably give this a 7 out of 10. I think it looks really nice on the face. Obviously, the minus points would be the whole 24-hour claim. Another minus point would then be saying that it's for oily skin, when I would personally say that it's not for oily skin at all. And also the shade range needs to be a lot larger. I do not think that this one, for example, can cover 5 different skin tones. I just don't think it's possible. It's very easy to accidentally go overboard when it comes to something like this, which is a buildable kind of product. You need to be a little bit careful. So that's it for my review of the brand new Stay Naked HYDROMANIAC Tinted Glow Hydrator. The Stay Naked range continues to grow. What else can I say? If you're going to wonder what's on my lips, I know that I normally list my lipstick in the info bar, but this is discontinued. It's an Urban Decay one from the Gwen Stefani collection. Who remembers that? It's called Wonderland. You can't buy it anymore, but you know, I don't like to throw away makeup if it don't smell. I'm going to wear it still, and it happened to go with my hearts on my shirt. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I've forgotten. It doesn't create any smile lines on the face that some dewy products can do. It doesn't sit within any kind of lines under my eyes or anything like that. So it does kind of sit in place. It just starts to break up and separate is the only issue. And again, that happened after between 10 to 12 hours. I checked after 12 hours, but it may have actually happened sooner than that. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't walk around with a mirror in front of my face 24/7 checking every 5 minutes. I had to see after a significant period of time what it looked like, and it didn't look that nice. And I'm thankful that at that point I was at home and nobody in public could see they had started to move and show my own skin underneath. So that's it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you've got any comments or questions about this product, feel free to ask me below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful, happy, healthy, at peace. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.